try to blow my mind. I don't care.
All right, peace, black family. So recently I went on a road trip for my birthday. I stopped in places like Franklin, Tennessee. I stopped in McAllister, Oklahoma, and then I shot back down to stop off in New Orleans, right? To look at some historical sites and connect a little history that some people may not be familiar with. So hopefully you enjoy these videos put together. They are a 3-part series. This was about a week in the making. Lots of hours of driving on the road and a good playlist. So hopefully you enjoy these videos. They are combined together. They are shot on a multitude of different days. So enjoy the videos. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and share the information. Peace. Peace, black family. So today I come to you in Franklin, Tennessee, specifically Williams County, where you see behind me, there is a place called the Toussaint L'Ouverture Cemetery, which was one of the only places that African Americans can be buried in the 1800s. This was the first cemetery in Williams County where African Americans can be buried in, and they choose to name it Toussaint L'Ouverture Cemetery. This shows the connection and the importance to the Haitian Revolution, to African American culture and history. And I have said this on many different videos. I've went to Savannah, Georgia, and showed you how Haitians came here and fought in the American Revolution. I've went to Fayetteville, North Carolina, to show you how they had a city called Durham, Haiti. I went to many parts throughout the United States to show you the connection, to show you the importance behind the Haitian Revolution and African American culture and history, and how we both played on that experience, that Black Atlantic experience. And why have I done this? Why has this been such a mission for me? Why has this been so important to me? Because right now we are in an era of people creating their pseudo history. People are creating pseudo history, national history, when for black people, there is no such thing as national history. Now, I don't know if you want to call it Pan-Africanism. I don't know if you want to call it B1. I don't know what you want to call it. But Africans, black people, have never focused on a national history. Now we're in a space of nationalism where people are holding tight to nationalism, and they're erasing the history that Black Atlantic experienced. So it is my job. It is my job. I have been personally sent here by the ancestors to document this history. Because haters would say it don't exist. Haters would say it never happened. Haters would say Haitians never influenced African Americans. Haitians don't got nothing to do with African American culture or history.
I knew I wasn't supposed to, but I ran into the adult reading room and came across Toussaint, my first black man. I never counted George Washington Carver because I didn't like peanuts. Still, Toussaint was a black man, a Negro like my mama said, who refused to be a slave and spoke French and didn't allow no white man to tell him nothing. Not Napoleon, not Maximilian, not Robespierre. Toussaint L'Ouverture was the beginning of reality for me. In the summer contest, for who colored child could read 15 books in 3 weeks, I won. And raved about Toussaint L'Ouverture. At the afternoon ceremony was disqualified because Toussaint belonged in the adult reading room. And I cried and carried dead Toussaint home in the book because he was dead and living to me. Because Toussaint and them, they held a citadel against the French with the spirits of all dead Africans from out of the ground. Toussaint led their army of zombies, cannonballs, shooting spirits to free Haiti. And they wasn't slaves no more.
Haters would say it did not exist, so it is my job to keep that history alive. The ancestors has appointed me to do that. So I am here, drove all the way up to Tennessee, and I will continue to drive across the United States, documenting this history. This is a very important part of history. All right, I've told you, I've made mention several times in other videos about how the 56th Regiment of Massachusetts. Their nickname was the Toussaint Regiment, where they fought with that banner and that name of the Toussaint Regiment. This is how important the Haitian Revolution was to Africans in America. And Africans in America have repaid that debt several times as well. We can't say the conversation is one-sided. But I'm here to document the history to say that we are connected. We do have a connection. And if I have to spend every dollar I have in my bank account to document this history, I will. Because a lot of us are not reading. A lot of us are not researching. And we are relying on the scholarly to fit a narrative that benefits our egos. And we're not telling the truth. And we're not being honest in the scholarly. I didn't just make this. This been here since the 1800s. You have people buried here from the Civil War. You have people buried here up until the Vietnam War. And I think the cemetery is actually still in use. We cannot tell history that best fits our story, our narrative, and our egos, and our national point of view. We have to tell the African story. The story how Haitians came from Haiti and fought in the Civil War. And how African Americans escaped to Haiti and fought in some of their battles on their side. We have to tell the proper sense of history. We cannot lie about it. Our ancestors are not happy with a lie. This is why things are always chaotic in our community, because we're lying. We're not being honest with the scholarly. All right, peace, black family. It's your brother Hassan coming live from McAllister, Oklahoma. Directly behind me, you see the Toussaint L'Ouverture School. This school was built in the 1800s by African Americans directly out of slavery. Why is this important? This is important because it shows the connection between African Americans and Haitians. It shows the influence of the Haitian Revolution and how it impacted Africans in America, and one would also say Africans globally. This revolution was not just some spark in history. This revolution was impactful, so impactful that it influenced Africans in the United States to name some of their first institutions after Haitian revolutionary leaders. This is a fact. And I am here in McAllister, Oklahoma to document this information. Because we don't know where these buildings will be at in the next 20 and 30 years. And if you don't have the information, if you don't have it documented, that it never existed, right? And so I'm here to show how impactful the Haitian Revolution has been to black people around the world. That they would name their first institutions after leaders. They would name some of their children after leaders of the Haitian Revolution. This is very much important. This school actually went down in the 1970s because of integration. But it was a big staple in this community because in this community, it used to be an African American community. But because of gentrification and because of white supremacy, the school actually went under. And from my information, there's been plans to change the name of the school and renovate it into something else, but we'll have to see. But I'm here today to document this information because it is very important. It shows how impactful that the Haitian Revolution is. During the 1800s, the Haitian Revolution and the leaders of the Haitian Revolution were on the lips of every black person globally.
Because I grew up in the Jim Crow world, Washington, D.C. My parents taught at Howard University. And in elementary school, all the way from kindergarten on up, Toussaint L'Ouverture was a major figure. That was the person that you wanted to be doing Negro History Week. You had all kind of pageants, all kind of things you do. And the fight in the cloakroom was always who got to be Toussaint, because you got to wear the hat and carry the sword and you got to sit on the throne, right? And if you didn't get that, you got to be Christopher Dessalines. And if you lost that fight, you got to be one of the people that walk round and round and round changing uniforms, which is the strategy that Toussaint used to deceive Napoleon's army. If you don't know that story, it's a classic, probably apocryphal, that in order to impress Napoleon's generals with the size of the Haitian army, Toussaint had them march continually all day long changing uniforms, And so at the end of the day, the French generals were impressed that this is a massive, massive, unending army that they could never possibly defeat. And so you play that out in an elementary school auditorium, what you have is running out, taking your shirt off, putting on a red shirt, running back around, come out again, you know. But Toussaint was big. Haiti was big.
And now how could you look and know all these informational facts and then say the Haitian Revolution had no influence on African American culture at all? That we are not connected at all. As if I just put this building here today. So this is why it's important for me to document this information and to travel around the United States and get this information, because people will say it doesn't exist. I am honored that African Americans decided to name some of their first institution after Haitian leaders. When I go down to Durham, Haiti, I'm honored. When I go down to Savannah, Georgia, I'm honored to do that. I respect the shoulders that I stand on. I respect African Americans for their struggle. But I also would not allow Haitian history and the influence of Haitian history to be wiped out from history as well. We can't do that. We have to be honest about our history. I traveled to Franklin, Tennessee to show you how African Americans named one of their first cemeteries after Toussaint L'Ouverture. This is a fact. And there are many more locations. I have places to go in St. Louis. I have many places to travel around the United States to show you more information, how impactful the Haitian Revolution was, and how it still should be impactful. This is why Haiti has marred the struggle that it's been marred with. Because it influenced Haitians. It influenced African Americans. And so white supremacy said we must attack and destroy Haiti at all costs. Can you imagine being a white supremacist and you enslave a people in Oklahoma, and then they get out of slavery, and then they build a school called L'Ouverture School? Can you see how infuriating that would be? Can you go down to Virginia and see how they named Toussaint L'Ouverture Hospital after the Haitian Revolutionary? That is infuriating. So they always had to target Haiti. They always had to target Haiti and crush the memory of Haiti. But we must keep that memory alive, because that is a shining example of what Africans can do when they get rid of fear and come together. Because the Haitians that fought for revolution, they were not from the same tribe. Some of them were not even from Haiti. Some of them came from Trinidad. Some of them came from Jamaica. But they came together. They were not even from the same parts of Africa. But they came together. And then the Africans in America, being influenced by that, came together and built these institutions. This is why they must destroy the image of Haiti. This is why they keep attacking Haiti, because of what it represents. This is very powerful. When you know this information, when you know this history, this is very powerful. And this is why I drove 22 hours to Alistair, Oklahoma to document this history. This is very powerful. And I will continue to do so. And if anybody wants to donate, Cash App, or send me some money for my travels, I would appreciate that, because this was quite expensive. Thank you, Joe Biden, for the gas prices. But this was quite expensive to do this. But I want to document this history. I want to continue this legacy. I am honored to do this. But I need the help of the people to continue to do this. So again, I come live from McAllister, Oklahoma. I appreciate you if you watch this video. I have more videos to do on this topic itself. I have more places to travel to do this, to document this history, real history, not this fake history, real history, okay? Because this is very important to our legacy of who we are as Africans. But a lot of us will say that we're not Africans, that we're not connected. If we're not connected, why are all these institutions named after Haitian revolutionaries? If we're not connected, why are some of these early African American hospitals named after Haitian revolutionaries? You have people like Langston Hughes, who traveled to Haiti. You have people like Zora Hill Hurston, who traveled to Haiti. These are people who are prominent during the Harlem Renaissance. You have people like Jacob Lawrence. Some of his famous paintings was about Toussaint L'Ouverture. If the Haitian Revolution is not important, if it wasn't impactful, these things wouldn't exist. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. That's not true. And I can't allow that. My ancestors can't allow that. You can't allow that. That's not true. It is very impactful. It is the only time in the world where a group of people who were enslaved beat the ruling class to become the rulers of a nation. We cannot forget that history. No other group of people have done that. Not the Romans, not Greece. No other group has done that. Were enslaved one day, beat the people who were enslaving them, and then became the rulers of a nation. And this is why Haiti is constantly under attack. But that's not even the end of the story. After they became the rulers of the nation, they ran around the world freeing other African people. That is a powerful story. That needs to be a movie. That needs to be a movie. But again, I thank you for joining me and watching this video. Please share this information. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Hell, give it a thumbs down. It doesn't even matter. Just share the information. Do something. I'm coming live from Allister, Oklahoma. Until next time, family, think black, stay black, love black, support black, and that's real African black power. We out. Peace, peace, black family. Thank you for joining me again. I am coming live from Violet, Louisiana, which is a city right outside of New Orleans. And this battlefield right here is important to the history of New Orleans because this is where the Battle of New Orleans took place. This battle was conducted by Andrew Jackson and a whole bunch of other Yurugus. But the part they miss out in history is how significant African Americans and Haitians played in this battle here today. It is historically known that they call the people of color, they call them the free people of color from Saint-Domingue, were Haitians who came here to fight in the Battle of New Orleans that helped the United States gain more territory. This is a historical fact. I went around this whole park. I didn't find anything talking about the free people of color, the people from Haiti who helped fight in this battle that helped the United States gain more of this territory, right? Also, after this was taken over by the United States, it became a black community. This at one point was a black community bought by a man from Saint-Domingue, which is Haiti, and they began to build on this land, okay? Families began to build on this land. They had a church on this land. They had a school on this land. There was homes on this land, and people lived here directly after slavery and etc. And at some point in the 1960s, the government said, we need this land back. We want to turn it into a national park. And they kicked all the people out and sent them to the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. Okay? This is very important. This land is sacred, right? And in this land, there are Africans who are buried in unmarked graves. In unmarked graves. People who fought in the Battle of New Orleans, people who lived here after the Battle of New Orleans, after slavery, and then directly across, you have the place where white soldiers were buried at. Okay, it wasn't until the 1800s, late 1800s, that the Freedmen's Bureau decided to make this a very sacred land. But it's sad to say, man, that history like this gets overlooked in so many ways. The fact that this was once a black community, the fact that Haitians came from Haiti and fought in the Battle of New Orleans, the fact that, you know, we have African burial grounds here that we don't know about, and it gets overlooked. All right. So again, coming to you live from Violet, Louisiana, which is a city right outside of New Orleans. I come here to talk about this story. Andrew Jackson was significant in this story because he led a lot of the fights back and forth. But again, just here to shed some light on this history. It's a very important history, one that gets overlooked. The black contributions, whether it be from African Americans or Haitians, gets overlooked, and I'm just here to shed light on that. All right, peace and black power.
They came from Haiti, Saint-Domingue, when the English took it over, okay? And they came to New Orleans because they knew that this was a place that they'd be welcome, and they were. They were very prominent in the governance of the area of New Orleans, especially right up to the time that America took over, you know, whatever. But still, when Claiborne took over as territorial governor and as governor, he had to work with the free people of color down here because they had such a large role. At that point in time, New Orleans was basically merchant related because, of course, it was a port city, and everybody was involved in it.